Man, I had something I wanted to start with. It skipped my mind now.
I love how saying we've begun always sets up the most uncomfortable side. Like, bro, so how long has the album been out for now? Because I've actually got a copy of it right inside the table there.
I noticed, man. I noticed. It's like, yo, how do
How do I get this thing out?
How's the reception been so far?
Stinking rich.
So there was like a moment for which, man, everyone was like, oh, there's so much excitement. You're going the album. Then after guys moved on. I mean, after like maybe 4 months, I sold a number of
CDs.
more than CDs. I sold Google Drive links.
Okay. How does that work? How does one sell Google Drive links?
So so you'd always give me your email and I put you.
And you add it
email. Add yours. You can get permission. You can download it and then re-upload it, but that's like too much work.
Sure.
So that happened for like 3-4 months. Sold some CDs as well.
Nice.
But
how are the sales between the physical copies and the soft?
I sold more soft copy than hard copy because, of course, because people are like, I don't listen to CD.
Oh, I don't have time to find you somewhere.
Right. Most people that bought CD were, like friends. They just want to have some kind of memorabilia to be like, yo, man, man, when you make it,
I have mine at home like that.
Can you sign it for me?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Gave away some free ones as well. I still have a box of CDs at home. But I sold a number of them, broke even. I think I made really good profits, but I sold more soft copy than hard copy.
But it wasn't automated. It was a thing of they send you do they send you mobile money?
Yes.
Okay, they send you the mobile money and the email address.
The exchange was mobile money and email address. So it was like, your WhatsApp, send me if I get the message, so send me your email. And then but usually people, when you have like trust between friends, you like upload, put their email address and send the money eventually. So
but the one thing I have to say though is Stinking Rich creeped up on a lot of us, if not everyone. So it's like, oh, by the way, my thing is out, and we're like, there was a thing coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then you listen to it and you're just like, how did I miss this?
I realized like a few days after it had come out, and I think YouTube maybe realized that we know each other. So I saw a thing on like my YouTube landing page and I was like, okay.
Recommended for you.
And then I saw there was a bunch of other things. And I was like, oh shit, it's a whole album. Then that's how I figured that you'd put out.
It wasn't like Instagram or...
No, I don't think, at that point in time, I don't think I was
spent
back
so
on
much
Instagram
time on YouTube
yet.
also.
On YouTube,
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't back on Instagram yet. I only go on Instagram to sell things, bro.
Honestly, not to buy.
To tell you the truth, I don't go on Instagram to like hang out and like see things, because also it's a hole, bro.
It's business.
I feel like sometimes I make the mistake of scrolling. Like after I've like posted what I need to post and posted like a story or whatever, I sometimes make the mistake of scrolling. And the next thing I know, it's like an hour and a half later, and like all my shit's like I'm late for appointments. I'm like, it's I can't. I just try to like limit it like that.
That on Twitter as well sometimes. Yeah.
Now I think I've just accepted Twitter as part of my life. So I don't even think about my being on Twitter time. I don't even think, which is scary.
It's part of your life now.
Which is scary, bro, because sometimes I realize I just came from being on Twitter on my laptop to being on Twitter on the bathroom when I'm sitting on the toilet, and I didn't even think about it.
Is now a toilet routine.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even think about it.
Do you read tweets more than you retweet? Or than you, like, what do you do more? Do you like read people's tweets, or do you tweet, or do you like retweet? What do you spend more time?
I'm a scroller. My like habitual thing is honestly a scroller and a retweeter. But to be very honest with you, I made a very intentional effort this year to just engage more on social media. Right. And it's honestly because I realized I had art to share, and it had to find fallow ground. And I didn't know this until I was actually doing it, and someone was like, yeah, that's actually the truth, that if you are
You don't just come out of the blue and think Twitter is going to be like, now you're...
No, it's
where were
a
you?
drop in the
Where
ocean.
were you when you were hustling?
It's for feelings like that, for real. The algorithm has feelings. It's just like, you can't just be ignoring me for months and whatever. And
however funny your tweets are going to be like, you want to be a one-hit wonder.
5 people will see it,
you want to be a one-hit wonder.
5 people will see it.
When we made Mr. Monkwa together, I think that really, I learned a lot from that experience. Because what I learned from that was that organic growth caps at about 2,000. At about 2,000.
2,000 what?
2,000 views on whatever, or like YouTube platforms. How you compare that to, let's say, Spotify listens or whatever it is. On YouTube, 2,000 is about the cap. We experienced that with the first episode. I've experienced that with about 3 music videos I've made so far for artists who haven't got the best PR, but have just put them out themselves.
Sure.
They've all hit or hitting 2,000, and that's
Sure.
almost the capacity of organic growth that YouTube allows you to get.
And you have to sponsor.
And,
then there is-
so breaking beyond that, it means what?
That's what
You
we have
know?
to learn, really.
I think that's where the money comes in play.
To some extent, I'm sure. But also, I just feel like strategically that there's an answer to that.
Strategically is you will not implement any strategy beyond the default that is not going to that is not seeking monetization in any form.
What does that mean?
That means to get that boost, I feel that's when now that like we have allowed you to reach this, but for this to make financial sense for us, you're then going to have to. I think even people who have lots of fans,
So,
and
lots
if
of
you're like
subscribers and-
famous, like let's say say Apos released the song
Sure.
and just put it out, and I imagine in his first week, without announcing anything, just from the people who are on YouTube, he'll get like maybe a few tens of thousands
Okay.
of views.
Okay.
And for him, that's not good enough,
Sure.
right? And then now he'll start like proper pushing it.
Okay. I noticed most Swangs Avenue videos have, especially after a few months, 1 million and over views, you know. And there was a time when I was like, man, UG, the market is a bit small and maybe you can't like make those kinds of numbers. So I genuinely like, what is the answer from the back end? Is it just number of subscribers?
But you realize
know,
now,
is
like
it-
they're doing paid ads on different platforms for that link. That's why I'm saying I don't see any other alternative that is organic. Past if you've maxed out that organic phase, because either way, even if you're paying for even if you're going for radio promo,
Yeah.
you're paying.
Yeah.
You're going for YouTube ads, you're paying.
Yeah.
You're going for Facebook, you're
ads
paying.
you're paying. Yeah.
You get, and that's just it.
I remember there was a time when, like, there was this whole optimism around the internet being this thing that was going to democratize everything, and labels were going to become irrelevant. and all
Like
these
a
things were
level
going to
playground for
become-
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, which to some extent has been true. It has been much easier for independent, like, sole proprietor business people to make it and to make some waves and to make some noise. But still, like, the very same forces of scale, you know, just of have still come to bear. So the labels are still
Dominating.
Yeah, dominating the internet. But I still feel like the rule book is still a bit more
I think
open
it
for us
allows
to-
what that does is like what a limiter does. It creates a cap, but says you who is already up, you can't go beyond this. But you who is down, we're allowing you catch up
come
a
up.
bit.
Fair.
But then again, only to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going to say, just to proof of concept is that you can be a threat, but again, you need an extra boost to actually be a genuine threat.
Yeah. Because all these things all they are is a boost, you know? All they are is like all new technology that in some way is supposed to make things easier and whatever, still also makes things easier for even the biggest players in the game. Still.
It does.
So even that, the momentum that they already have just becomes boosted on a little bit.
Plus, the big record labels already have like a system with which they use. So, the internet in itself will not help. You know what I mean? An independent artist who just began yesterday, they're just walking into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys have a system that they use to play that they can deliver and take advantage of every resource available to them.
Yeah.
And so, there's still a huge gap to
I mean,
close.
like if you think of how the likes of Vivo cropped up, right? And the normal person, please use ordinary art, YouTube. The privileged who are under the major labels then get Vivo accounts.
Yeah.
Because that's just to show levels, right?
Yeah.
And now you're like, okay. I mean, currently you can get a Vivo account depending on who is distributing you.
But it's still that, you know?
But it's still that.
It's still a thing of who do you know and who
Yeah.
gets you in that door.
Right.
and
Yeah.
To have that, you know, that conversation with YouTube or with...
Yeah.
Does anyone actually go to Vivo? Like, is Vivo
So Vivo,
not on YouTube? Does anyone actually use Vivo primarily as a thing? Like Visco. No, like Visco is its own like platform, but it's best known as a thing that makes pics that go on Instagram look nicer.
All right.
Like,
So
but
like
it's still
does
its
anyone
own platform. Like photographers really do be on Viscode, like sharing and like
I don't
using
think
it as
I don't think Vivo is interactive in any way.
Okay.
Vivo was started by the big three. At the time there were four, I think. The
Big three.
Universal, Warner, and Sony, right? Because
I'm a small
knowing very well that now you see.
Chopping
They're like,
to cut you
okay,
down.
fine. Now there seems to be a level playground, but we are not level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So then videos started getting reposted. Videos that were just on the ordinary YouTube
Yeah.
started getting switches to Vivo because they were like, you know?
There's some movement there.
Yeah, that's why when Vivo came up, you'll see a song that clearly the video came out in like 2002. But when Vivo came up, you'll see the song has been around for only 10 years. Because that's how long Vivo has been around.
Yeah. But also, I feel like the visibility of Vivo has reduced recently, where at some point it used to be the flex. Like if you're looking for the official artist page, it was usually the, I don't know, Beyonce Vivo, like the whatever. But these days it seems like artists have gone back to using their own pages, except it seems like Vivo is still in some way
It's
a part
there.
of.
You can choose whether
The
to have the
thing, you
Vivo
know?
thing on or not.
Okay. So it's still a Vivo page, but it's just
Yes.
not called
That
Beyonce
visibility,
Vivo.
to get that level of visibility
Yeah.
is not normal. Like if an independent artist from Malawi, for example, got signed to Sony Africa, they're like, you know what, we need to max this thing and we need to get him up there and be the biggest artist in East and Central and Southern Africa, for example.
Yeah.
Normal Facebook will not allow that, however much you pay. I mean, normal YouTube, however much you pay for YouTube ads, it's just going to, it's not going to add up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same way getting playlisted is politics
process.
in there. Yeah.
For the context of people at home who might not know like how that works, do you know how like songs get playlisted?
Well, from my interaction with Wana in specific, it's either it's also a bit of the guy you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's
It's
this
like
guy
pitching.
this guy who curates a playlist and like, yo man, there's these 5 playlists that play your kind of music. So holla at that guy, man, that guy might get your jam.
Or
you
a
what I mean?
guy will just like, plug you.
And is the Hala a phone call? Is it WhatsApp?
Email. No, I mean, these are guys that are out
These
of
are
your reach.
professional connects.
I mean,
Think of it like this. He's a composer, music composer. I am an engineer, and you are, in this case, a performing artist.
Okay. For example.
Yes. As I said, in this case, somebody had to wear those shoes, and there's somebody seeking to get on, like, to work with us, right?
Yeah.
So somebody's going to say, look, you can go there, but they're going to look at you like anyone else.
Sure.
So, but if I go there for you, they're going to take you seriously. And because I help them reduce on the amount of time they have to go through songs because they trust that I am a test maker, they will automatically take what I give them. Done.
Yeah.
my question though about things like Spotify playlists is how do the people that create those playlists get their like their prestige? How do they be that guy?
So, if I had a label or a platform of sorts and I'm trying to push my own things, what I will then do is say, create a playlist, for example, like, so you have a subgenre. I'm going to call it a subgenre, Afro EDM, right? Is it still a thing?
Now I moved into
Or it
other
was a
things,
thing?
but
It was a
it
thing.
was a thing. Yeah.
For example, Afro EDM is for marketing purposes, we would love for him to fit in a category that is mainstream, but then again, it helps us if he's alone.
Sure.
So we're going to create top 100 electro, Afro, something songs.
Sure.
But that's because if you go on that playlist, iZAYA's things will be top.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
right? While everyone else who also makes music like
Maybe
him,
fits in a bit.
Yeah.
Sure. But he
now that
sets
list is going to start
he
catching.
frames it.
Our agenda is that if you visit, we get more guys visiting this platform because we have the likes of Mikasa, we have the likes of in there.
But his question was, how do you get the prestige for being a playlist maker? You know?
Exactly. So the prestige? It's not a prestige thing. Nobody makes playlists because I make playlists.
Really? I imagine the guys who like, you know what? That's their whole
And
thing.
yeah, they're like,
and
Like streaming DJs, you know what I mean?
yeah.
You're a DJ. What does that mean for you? That makes you a taste maker. The prestige is there. Is that, wow, this guy has cool music.
Or has lots of.
So for example, radio
plays on
DJs
their
play the same songs all the time. But like, why is that when he plays this song, he's bigged up more than the other kid who is also playing the same song? The song came out yesterday.
Because they have more listeners, because they have more subscribers, I guess, more
Yes.
followers for the playlist.
Exactly.
More,
So now that's how the prestige comes about. Is that now I'm regarded a taste maker. You
Is
know?
that how that works? Do you subscribe to a playlist?
You follow them.
Follow a playlist.
You follow a playlist,
Okay.
just like you would follow anyone.
Okay.
And
But even
yeah, for
download
labels, that's how it works. For other music curators, for guys who just do it for the sake of it, for the sake of putting out music, almost feels like cooking shows on YouTube, where you're just like a video to make a shabwe,
Yeah.
a video to make a chapati,
Chicken Alfredo.
you know, something. It's like what anyone, like I could have done this.
Yeah.
It's not even nice to watch, you know,
Yeah.
the thing. But you know what? It's there.
Yeah.
And other people who don't know that it's actually not a big deal to be making chapati, but well, there's a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, we'll not look at it like that.
Yeah.
So, like, you have many guys who listen to, say, Drake, Justin Bieber, Wizkid, Burna Boy, to name a few. You want to slot them in there because every time somebody follows similar playlists, yours will crop up because of the artists you also have in. That's if you're just doing it for the,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Gets you up there, you automatically become a taste maker of sorts, but like, not everybody is going for that. Some people just want to make playlists with cool music.
Yeah.
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 And most playlists are usually specific to like genre, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
So
genre,
if you like
or
mix.
geographic location.
But no, I also feel like this, like the environment that we live in right now with streaming platforms and whatever, actually has moved away from genres being the biggest predeterminer of like how to classify music, and playlists becoming a big thing. I was thinking about how, like, okay, maybe it's not a playlist necessarily, but selection, right? I feel like selection has like a very particular vibe that crosses a number of different genres,
right.
but that is a category unto itself that you can actually communicate quite easily. Like if you're like, yo dude, like what music should we like play at that party? I'm like, what are some selection vibes? Like you'll get it, you know?
Right.
And I think like playlists have also changed that thing around a bit, where the way that we think about music isn't as like genre disciplined. It's not as
Because there's so many as well these days.
yeah,
too
so
many.
much that we have.
Like there's going to be playlists that is just 2020 COVID
Yeah.
relief
Yeah.
playlist, some cooking playlist,
Yeah.
jogging playlist, workout playlist.
But also because it also just like begs the question that we've always asked about genre of like, man, so few things fit super neatly into like a genre.
Yeah,
you
a
know?
genre is very boxed.
Yeah.
Like it's not that.
Most things borrow a lot, most
Yeah.
things, you know, and maybe that is a way that you can kind of talk about and describe a music beyond genre that is not limiting to like it's just it's hip hop with a bit of jazz and a little R&B.
You've seen those what I don't know what the best word to describe it would be, but like genres that are overly descriptive just because they're like it's like R&B, hip hop, rap, soul.
I love it.
something.
Yeah.
Are there sub-genres to world music? I know they're there, but
No,
do we know them?
I feel like world music is just the laziest
I know, right?
laziest
To be
genre.
put in the category of world music, bro.
At best, it's lazy. At worst, it's kind of racist. And it's it's such a problematic because there's so many. Like world music actually is a playlist. It's not a genre. You know,
Well
it's a
said.
playlist, bro. It's like there's
It's a
so many
playlist.
genres in world
In
music.
world music, yes.
But it's also just like
There's a lot
I
of
honestly
fusion.
think white and like people of the Europes and North Americas just being like it's music from those ends. You know.
South Africa, I mean
the other-
South America,
Everywhere
Africa,
else.
parts of Europe, but not so much.
Yeah.
And a lot of Asia also in there.
Yeah.
That's world music.
Yeah, and a bunch of fusions in there.
Yeah.
Like at best, you know, just
Yeah.
muddle it up enough that it's just it's very ethnic.
It's that music we don't understand. But
The other thing is how jazz has been classified.
Yeah.
Has been a very like it has been a hard thing to like to understand. Not even understand, but just how. Like from a very musical perspective, and iZAYA can add to this, jazz has been as like conventionally been classified by how it's performed. Right?
Sure.
I know there's traditional jazz, there's classical jazz, and there's probably a third one. And then every other subgenre of jazz, came off that, right? But it became a thing of, I'm classically trained, but I can like
improvise.
Also improvise. And then it became some other jazz. And then you realize there's so much saxophone going on in jazz, bruh. Saxophone and like muted guitars and vibes.
Yeah.
And then they started to incorporate those styles of performance into other genres. And then it started to become Afro jazz, Latino jazz. You know? Something jazz, right?
Yeah. Question is, what, in your opinions, what makes jazz jazz? Like,
I think conventionally, any genre was defined by how the music was performed. That's
really,
how I feel. Yes, conventionally.
Okay.
Because if we had to think of the main genres, not the main, but like I can't say main because
let's pick two.
Popular.
Let's pick two and
reggae.
Okay.
Motown was a genre for a long time. And I don't know if it still is.
Okay, I get that. I get that. It was as like a classification of R&B and whatever it was.
Right? And you can see that any artist can switch between the two, but perform differently. You can be a reggae artist on a hip-hop track, but like you can't approach that hip-hop track like a reggae artist.
But is it still not a matter of composition rather than performance?
Than performance, yeah.
Because they used to, like a lot of early reggae and like ska songs were like redos of like American R&B songs, right? And they just like switch it around, switch up the instrumentation and this like the delivery a bit, and the composition would change to like fit like a different rhythm, but it would still be like a Supreme song. It would still be like So I do get the idea that it's a performance thing, but also don't you still have to change how the composition plays out?
Like one is a result of the other.
To switch from R&B to reggae.
Yeah, like every time you hear
Mr. Reggae covers for everything.
Every time you hear a reggae cover,
I've heard this guy's reggae covers for everything. Yo, Wana has a reggae cover for everything. Like, I swear that new Metro Boomin and 21 Savage, he has a reggae cover for running. And I swear, I never see Wana's like face light up as much as when he's like, you'll never believe the reggae cover I have for this. You like this song, eh? You like this song? Wait for it.
Reggae cover.
Like I always get too caught up playing my remixes.
Yeah.
That even when I'm like supposed to be appealing to like a mainstream crowd.
Yeah.
And I throw a thing in there, there's always a shock value of.
I love it.
At Oktoberfest 2019.
Yeah.
I had specifically chosen two remixes done by iZAYA and two by myself.
Okay.
To start and close the set.
Yeah.
I started that set with I had a remix, a reggae remix of Party After Party. That's what I started with.
Bro, first of all, that's not the thing that I'd expect you to drop at an Oktoberfest.
Exactly.
But also, maybe I'm just thinking of
So there was a crowd, and they all stopped. And they were like, who's on stage now? Right? That's the effect I wanted.
But also that begs the question of really what's an Oktoberfest in UG, bro? Like what is that like? You know,
it's
as a
very
vibe.
Oktoberfest, honestly. The music is not Oktoberfest, but the whole like.
It's not so much about the culture. It's just about the chill,
drinking.
the party.
We don't. The only part of the culture that we might
embrace
is
alcohol.
The alcohol, lots of it.
Sure.
The meat, lots of it.
Sure.
And a bit of a dress code because the ladies get to wear those dresses.
You don't also put on the.
I didn't see many guys wear.
Really?
Actually, I didn't see any. Only like legit Germans.
Okay.
Yeah. And they clearly look.
Bro, even when I go to like Halloween parties in this Kampala, bro, I feel like it's usually like the ladies who put in some effort to dress up. I feel like dudes just show up. They're just like, and they've done a lot.
Do you not see my attire?
My presence is a present. Niggas just show up, nigga.
Like, you won't bounce me. That's the culture we have here. But like, we don't respect dress codes, man. We just go like an all white.
It's a suggestion.
Comes in grey.
Dress codes are suggestion, brother. Just like you know, if in doubt, if you don't know what to put on,
try.
So I played that Party After Party remix.
Yeah.
And the shock value I got, I knew nobody would reject it. They'll just be like, wow. Okay, we are there now.
Yeah.
And they warmed up to it.
Yeah.
At the end of the set, I decided to play. iZAYA has a remix of My Property.
Okay.
The song is called Property, right?
Property, yeah.
Fick. And it starts like a proper 80s pop, right?
Okay.
And guys are like, yeah, disco vibes, what? My property is my property. Yeah? You could hear a silent backspin. Quick. And everybody stopped.
Oh my God.
And they were like, okay. Okay, we get you. And after that,
Do you like that as a DJ, right? As a DJ who's playing for people, is that an effect you enjoy as well? That momentary lapse of people just being like, whoa.
Trying to figure it
going
out.
on, yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I need to see that people are paying attention
Sure.
to what I'm doing.
It's not passive music, eh?
It's not.
Right.
I'm not playing background music.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
After that, I got introduced by force. Actually, not that I didn't want it. The MC came and got my hand and said, "You see that guy?
Yeah.
That's the programs director of Go talk to him. Get a DJing slot there."
Nice.
I loved the fact that it could get me things like that, and it has done me several things like that.
And you feel like it's because you were playing things that were attention grabbing.
I think it was just the fact that
the property remix.
It was the fact that the way I played, and a huge contribution to that was the fact that I played those specific songs, but also knowing that you have a performance appeal that is very casual, like you're affecting the crowd by yet not being hectic to watch.
Sure.
You get it?
Sure.
Playing background music but demanding attention.
Sure.
Something like
Sure.
that. So which
niche.
is like, when I see the likes of iZAYA, he plays at festivals, he performs at festivals.
Yeah.
He, even if it's a small tour or what, but he knows very much that the thing that keeps guys hooked to him is the performance element.
Bro, this
anyone
perform
can
with
play
a
iZAYA's music, but not the way he does.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. And do you only play your music?
Yeah.
You only play your music, eh?
That's why I started playing that's why I started performing.
Is that why you started making music?
No, that's why I started performing.
Oh, because
I had to play my music.
Fair enough.
I didn't want to just stand. I have stage fright till today.
Is that why you wear the mask?
That's why I wear the mask.
That platypus mask, you still have it?
I changed.
It's a platypus mask?
No, it's an African. I don't know why. I
saw the African. I think you first wore it at the social.
The new mask, the long one, the white one. Yes, that's the first time I put it on. And the other,
Bro, do you know the story behind this mask at all?
Well, so I did some research because apparently each mask has like there's like some of them have like affiliated with like some spirits and 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 like cultures, and then I asked around, did some research. Guys are like, man, I don't know, because most of them are bought from Kenya, Congo.
You're just a tourist buying things, right?
It's Congo. I was like, man, you know what? Because I'm a man of faith. I just said, man, whatever is on this mask, man, if there's some juju, some voodoo on this mask, it will not have any effect.
Like,
me.
I cover myself.
I bind.
a real bound. So I started wearing it, and for me, it was the decision to wear the mask was sort of influenced also by a masterclass I'd watched by Dead Mouse. You guys know Dead Mouse, DJ?
That's how you say it, eh?
He said one of the
Deadmau5.
One of the things that Deadmau5, right?
I used to call him Deadmau5.
Mau5, right? And one of the things that marketed him more than his music was his helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, it would be nice to wear a mask or a helmet that's not cheesy. You know, that's not you know what I mean, like a Jabberwocky's mask. That's not generic. Something that shouts, you. So
something that is marshmallow. Something that.
Do you know what I mean? Something that's just it has like some message behind it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So initially, my idea for a costume was to wear like remember those tight outfits in the Victorian era from like those tight that the composers used to wear.
But the stockings.
Yes, with
like
the stockings. And a wig. I wanted to wear that and a mask. To sort of You know what I
Bro,
mean?
please let's not move away from this too quickly, bro.
How do I?
Did you ever do
How
it?
do I?
I did not. I bought the wig, but I never put it
Have
on.
you never actually assembled the full assemblage of that vision?
I have never.
Like at least once in life, bro.
I mean,
Do it
what
for
was I
Halloween
going to
and say
buy?
it's a costume.
You might find
know?
some undiscovered Batman-esque powers.
Honestly, I feel like there's some weird colonial
You go on
vibes
stage and
there.
it's just
But like I'm also like, you know what?
That's
bro,
what I'm
if you
saying,
own
that
it-
was the plan.
But if you own it
Yeah.
and you just like, wear it at Halloween and make an excuse for it, I would love to see this thing fleshed out, bro.
Because for me, it was
With
like
a mask.
It was like a message. It had to be with a mask because
Yeah.
it was like the contrast between like how my music has a lot of influence from like the Brits,
Yeah.
and then also a lot of influence from Africa. That was the clash I was trying to create.
Okay.
With the
The
costume,
electronic beat and
and the African vibe.
okay.
But yeah, like I eBayed
That would be a
something.
great album cover, bro.
You know what I mean?
great.
I was like performing with that stuff on tour, man. Might be very uncomfortable.
That's
like,
true.
So I was like, let me just wear something that's comfortable.
Yeah,
and
something
then
that's easy for you.
why I stuck with that mask is because it has two sets of eyes. One set of eyes looks at the audience, and one looks at the gear.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
so you
stuck with
can
Oh yeah.
just
So then you're not doing like this.
Yes, I'm always looking at the gear. I
Amazing.
never look at people. If I look at people, the mask goes sometimes.